at the far gate. Hopefully Wrath is on the circus gate. We do have Dead Hard here on green, so we do need to be careful of that. Beautifully done. I know it hurts a little bit inside when I say Dead Hard is beautiful, but avoiding the hit and lengthening that chase, running into the Sally Switzer here. Beautiful work. He just
Hatch
knows
play.
we have managed to get the other gate open.
Hatch play.
We're running to it.
No way. No way.
Ooh, and we take the 2 out.
It's... Hey, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Q, back with some more Wilted Rose action from Dead by OCE. This time we've got the winners bracket semifinals, because you see, we've gotten thus far in the tournament, and we have 2 teams remained unbeaten, but the time for both of these teams to remain unbeaten cannot continue to be endless. Oh man, I cracked myself up. So today we're going to be seeing Team Endless, who got here after winning 2 consecutive sets after dropping their initial set versus Team Owned. And we're also going to be seeing Greensteam, who has been looking very, very dominant thus far in the tournament. And we're going to be starting things off on the Father Campbell's Chapel with the Nurse, then going to be going to the Gas Heaven for some Blight gameplay. And then if we do need it, we will be going back to my personal favorite, the Deadest of Dogs, for some Huntress action. Don't forget to leave this video a like and a comment. That helps us out with that good old YouTube algorithm. Tell us your favorite play, or like leave a smiley face. Every little bit seriously helps. And we are very, very close to 400 subs, which is crazy to think about. So make sure you're subscribed. Check down there, hit that subscribe button, where we talk everything DBD, including competitive DBD videos, just like this one here, all right? But let's go ahead and get right down into it. Some more Wilted Rose action. That's why y'all clicked on this video in specific. And if y'all do want to keep up with what Dead by OCE has going on as far as future tournaments and things, as always, I will leave the links for their Discord and their live stream link down in the description below. All right, until we catch y'all back over here for the next video over here on YouTube, don't forget, man, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love harder. All right, y'all, it's your boy Q, signing out. Of course, you know, with us being on the Nurse, though, it does mean we'll be seeing probably a little bit more of an aggressive build from our killer, just because we have a little bit less as far as like the gen defense even being allowed from our killer, right? No deadlock, no dead man switch, no pain resonance. I know, no pain resonance, dead man switch combo. Sorry, gamers. So what kind of build, I would say, I know we're about to see here in just a minute, but what kind of build are you kind of expecting our nurses to bring out?
Dixie's been playing Nurse for a long time, especially in comp, so it wouldn't surprise me to go with the old faithful Pop Ruin combo, definitely corrupt. And the last one could be a mystery, I guess, depending on how confident he's feeling. You know, the options there, you've got Noed, you've got Thanata for a little bit of extra slowdown as well. So I'm interested to see what Dixie goes with. But we are in, and we are floating around the corrupt area in the circus, having a look for those survivors where they could have spawned. And just as I said, there is a bit of a 3-gen over there at the circus, and then he does have a pretty good setup further over the shack side as well.
Yeah, now things are going to get a little interesting. I mean, we see kind of, you know, taking the perch approach up in top mid, trying to see if you can see any movement off in the distance, kind of get a sense of direction as to where the survivors spawned at. And it's sometimes, I think, here on Father Campbell's Chapel, it's a little bit easier to play immersive just because the tiles kind of coming around from the circus, more so on the side where we were just rotating over. It's kind of a little bit easier to stay hidden when you can at least figure the killer isn't looking your way. I mean, we see here even at this point 75 seconds into the trial, and we haven't even spotted anyone yet. And it's one of those trade-offs. Yeah, if you play super immersive, you don't have to you don't have like the early engagements and pressure, but that also kind of means on the flip side, you're not really getting much gen pressure, right?
That's right. It's a really tough pick to stealth out, but I'm assuming now the boys have called out that there is a chase happening, so they will be finding a gen to get on there. A really, really nice stun coming in there from I think that's Green. Really strong dead hard as well, avoiding that hit, so he won't be getting the hook just yet, and we will watch the chase continue.
Yeah, I mean, really. Oh, and gets done stupid, says the Claudette, able to get the pixel perfect animation there to be able to get this done. Creates a little bit of extra distance here as well. At this point, we're seeing no corrupt intervention, meaning we're more than 2 minutes into the trial. I'm not sure how recently our survivors across the map have started attacking those gens, as we did seem to see them playing just a little bit immersive. There's going to be generator number 1 popping off in the distance, still continuing this chase with the Claudette. And I feel like right now, starting to feel the pressure, able to get the down though on the edge map. The only question is, do we see a second or even third gen pop here soon?
Yeah, we should see a lot of progress coming in. That was a really wonderful chase from Green. We will see him going up on a hook, and there is the second gen there. Where are we going now? Having a look. These gens are now uncorrupted, so it does leave the survivors some extra space to get over there and to start working on them. Really fast unhook there as Dixie blinks over to main, but just a couple of blinks and we will be back. And I believe that was Ruin as well, out of the game.
Yeah, that's tough seeing the Ruin getting dropped. I would say, this early into the game, you had a little bit of pressure through the first 2 gens, but at the same time, you were in chase with just the one person. So unfortunately, people were just kind of able to do the, hold M1 strategy. And we do see, though, quickly finding the Nia, getting Nia back down onto the ground here. And that is going to be another hook stage. But since it only required one person rotating over for the save, we'll probably be seeing our third gen popping relatively soon here. You'll also notice as we look around, our 3 gen here on the circus side of the map still intact. Also have that middle gen here to work with as well. We see the broken status, which makes me wonder if that might be our deliverance player that we had just gotten off of the hook, which means, again, more time for our other survivors to just simply vibe and, hit some skill checks.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it was Deliverance. It was relatively fast off the unhook. I'm not sure if anyone could have gotten in there, but we'll just monitor and wait and see if they come back to full health or if they go and hide and stay injured a bit. Another little whiff coming out from Dixie. You know that Green's in there talking up a storm in the VC at the moment about his sick chase. Another whiff there.
Yeah, able to burn some time, and this is also big because it has pulled Dixie away from the 4 gen here between the middle and, of course, the 3 that's on the actual circus side. And of course, Nia did have the deliverance, as it does look like, and since they haven't had the option to heal, they can't simply vibe out on a gen. There's generator number 3 we see popping off in the distance, and now taking chase with the Adam. 2 blinks, able to get at least the first hit onto Bam Bam here. And I think Dixie really needs to be careful not to overextend, as you do still have a good hook setup or a gen setup. But now with this down here, you'll probably see us rotate this, I would imagine, more towards our circus side. And this could be right in the middle of your 3 gen.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Bam was going for a balanced landing play there. He did try to get up the stairs and hop off it. A lot of progression on this gen, which unfortunately we will say goodbye to, as Dixie does use Pop Goes the Weasel on there. Pushing Wrath away from the gen, making sure that the area is secure and safe, and that everyone's going to be leaving to force regression on that gen. We will be seeing a little bit of extra regression on that gen, won't we, Q?
Yeah, it's interesting seeing this combo starting to emerge a little bit in comp here, as far as with the Colorblind here, and getting the immediate regression and then getting that extra 200% afterwards. And especially in this case, because it is a gen that's right next to the hook, right? So it's kind of easy to keep an eye on it for that additional 60 seconds, really maximize the regression. It's one of those perks where you can, you get that combo together in a late game scenario, especially on a killer like the Nurse, who can really, compound down that pressure. And we can see a really big slowdown, but the 3 gen at least broken up as far as on the circus side. But you can see, of course, the middle gen still being available. Second stage force and even able to get in the tag onto Becky.
Yeah, we do see a bit of proxying here, but it's a really good move by Dixie, because not only is he forcing second stage onto Bam here, but he's also forcing the regression on that gen, which by the looks of things is back to 0, I think.
Yeah, all the way back to 0. It sounds like that generator back here in the far side of Circus has, if any, very minimal pressure here. We double back, able to get the borrowed time hit onto the Atom rather quickly, which makes the decision for the tunnel out here that much easier. We did it.
Baggy going down. I don't think we're tunneling here. We gave him the Vam took the BT hit and headed on out. But again, Dixie now getting a hook further into the gen area in the circus. Not really ideal for the survivor teams, but I mean, if any team can do it, it's certainly going to be this one. As we see once again, really progress gen here, saying goodbye to that progress, and we will watch it regress with not only Pop Goes the Weasel, but Call of Brian as well. Dixie now in that position that he was before, where he's able to now pressure the hook as well as the gen. We've got, 3 gens within 2 blinks of each other,
Yeah.
so a really tough spot for our survivors here.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a really good gen setup, a really good combination, especially if Dixie here can continue to accumulate the downs here, right? Able to get the one hit onto the ace, probably just going to be a simple trade here, so you at least secure yourself the one additional hook stage. I think here, though, you do want to try and get a little bit of additional pressure, see if maybe... Oh, able to get the grab onto the Nia here. This is big. So you have this hook, and you saw Survivor rotating in for the pickup. You might be able to really build up a lot of pressure here in the circus.
Yeah, we did see the Atom running in. I'm not sure if he was running into the gen or running in for the pickup, but he was definitely running back into the area. So that shows that he was not on the main gen. But we haven't seen Green for a while, so it wouldn't surprise me if he's been trying to chug the gen out while all of this mayhem is happening in the circus.
Yeah, I think that's why Dixie wanted to take a quick second, check up on that middle gen, right? Just make sure they haven't been vibing out and slamming that gen. We talk about, I mean, this gen had I don't want to say quite 75, but the third piston had quite a bit of motion, maybe 60, 65% on that last hook, back to 0. This one, back to 0 here as well. I mean, we were kind of talking about with this combo late game scenario, if you can really continue to accumulate those hooks, this is tough. This might be curtains.
Yeah, we might be looking at a hatch play here. I'm not sure if Dixie will let that happen. Certainly living up to his name of Dixie No Mercy today. Protector of thy generators. But he will be starting chase with Ace. I'm not quite sure how far he'll go. Not very, but this definitely does not give the survivors enough time to get...
Oh, and he slaps him with the D, says drop it. Able to build some extra time. The question is, does Dixie overcommit to try and get the down? We actually see swing and a miss onto the Atom.
Another whiff there, kicking the main gen, which they've been trying to work on. Dixie's not stupid. He's not going to fall for someone taking him away from this 3 gen. He's not going to leave the area. So we may be seeing our survivors try and pull him away from the gens, but I don't think he's going to fall for that. They will probably be looking to reset Ace. We do have 2 full health survivors here, so unless they're kind of going into main, I think Bam Bam on Adam with balance landing may be able to make a play up here, but for everyone else, this gen is just going to be incredibly dangerous.
Now, what's interesting is we had seen some progress on the gen in the back of the circus. I believe we had also seen one of those notifications you get with the skill checks as well just before it was off, and we didn't see anyone back here. I'm not sure if Dixie was trying to maybe allow whatever survivor was back here to get a little bit of false sense of security, trying to catch him out of position. We see now at this point, though, going to go ahead and opt to kick it here. We're going to see, of course, the aura thanks to that call of Brian. Also getting that aura notification up here in top middle. We also saw a reset across the board from Green's team here. So, I mean, both teams really going to need to play this patient, because at this point, it's about who makes the next mistake.
Yeah. You know, we can see these gens getting little notifications on them. The guys are managing to get back in the area, stealth on in there, and progress them a little. And where they're going, I'm not quite sure if Dixie knows and isn't willing to commit, just wants to maintain the pressure by guarding the gens. There's a lot of progress on this one though, and we do also have scratch marks heading out of the area. So will be interesting to see if Dixie just continues blinking between these gens and forcing that regression, or if he's actually going to commit to a chase, considering we've now got 3 full health survivors with 1 gen left.
You know, sometimes when I start watching scenarios like this, especially in comp with these really mobile killers, it just makes you think, man, like, does Call of Brian need a cooldown? Because this is redonkulous. You're like constantly, like, granted, it is requiring Dixie to like not be so much chase oriented and more focused, be like information oriented, taking time to kick the gens. Nice pallets done here by the Adam here as well, but it's just like it's constant information that you can get across the board. It's honestly a really, really strong perk.
Yeah, I think Dixie's realized that that they are just kind of stealthing in and out of the 3 gen area and progressing them. So he does commit to a chase very far away. We do see the last gen getting done. Dixie's now going to head over to the gates, which are very close to where that gen was done. Wouldn't surprise me if the survivors complete the gen and then go to the closest gate. They may be stealthing out the area knowing that that's where he's going to blink, and they may try and work towards the other one. But we've now got 2 full health survivors. Are the gates as good as the gens? Let's have a look over here. Where's the other gate?
Oh, the other one, I believe, yeah, right where we had just came from, I think, right? So I think as long as Dixie goes from here, I mean, you can just blink back and forth. You have really good vision on these doors. I think their best bet was, like you were talking about, if you had been able to set up somebody on the door as Adam was getting hooked. And right now, if you're Dixie, you'll take either survivor, because both of them do have 2 hook stages remaining. So both of them are essentially like worth the same amount of points for you here.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're in a good spot.
Yeah, I think any survivor that they can find will be the winning option here, and you won't be too upset with either Wrath or Green. But I imagine the boys are going to try and maybe split the doors. As soon as one is found, the other will begin. I'm not quite sure of any other way to go about this, to be honest.
Now,
Pray for a wake up.
Yeah, true. Or I mean, here's like the crazy thing is, like, you know that there's probably a good chance that the survivors are going to split the doors. That way, whoever ends up getting found can start rotating towards the other door. You know what I mean? It's probably one of your best shots. But I think that the other thing that's really nice, I would say, for Greensteam, I'm just kind of assuming here, since, I mean, we have to remember this was their pick. So 1, you've already completed the gens, and 2, if you play this right, you're at least looking at some outs. So, I mean, already starting to set your killer up for, you know, a rather, I don't want to say easy win condition, but a very like clear and obtainable win condition for set number 1. So, and doing that by starting on the survivor side is always really strong.
Yeah, we do see a light here. We do have a bit of action here. It's Green taking a hit at the far gate. Hopefully Wrath is on the circus gate. We do have Dead Hard here on Green, so we do need to be careful of that. Beautifully done. I know it hurts a little bit inside when I say a Dead Hard is beautiful, but avoiding the hit and lengthening that chase, running into the Sally Smithson here. Beautiful work. He just
Hatch
knows.
play.
We have managed to get the other gate open.
Hatch play.
We're running to it.
No way. No way.
Ooh, and we take the 2 out.
What? You not only get 1 person out, but you get the perfect run here by Claudette to get the hatch play as well. 4 stages out the door. That's big points that you start from Endless here as well. On your pick the nurse, that wow, that was amazing.
He's a showman. I told you, he's just so fun to watch in Chase with Nurse. A lot of the team are very good, not only at Nurse, but against Nurse as well. It's always wonderful to see them play against them, and the fact that Dixie as well, they're all friends. They've all played together in the past, so a really strong first game coming out. I'm excited to see who's going to play Nurse for Green's team. There's a lot of really good Nurse players there, so they can pretty much pick anyone, I think, but we're gonna find that out after a short break.
All right, let's take another trip on back into the fog, back on the Father Campbell's Chapel. This time, we will be seeing the killer for Green's team here, out currently with a 4-point deficit, 14-18. And we got to keep in mind, though, this is Green's team's choice as far as killer selection today. So I would imagine they're feeling very confident with this pick. We see the Corrupt, we see the Ruin in play here. We also had a little help from the auras there, thanks to the Undying protecting the Ruin. And I feel like that shows a lot of confidence coming in with the Ruin and Undying, knowing that totems aren't always the most hidden on this map.
Yeah, the totem spawns here are quite obvious, and I think as Survivor, if you've played on this map enough times, you'll certainly be in touch with the totems and their spawning areas. We do see Bulba going down after a few blinks. They're being found relatively early, the team choosing not to stealth out like the previous game. But we do see Bulba being hooked. We do have Baki on the nurse. Baki has come from console, is an incredible nurse player now. They're competent on the mouse and keyboard. Undying value there. Holy, Dixie taking a hit. Let's see how long he lasts in chase.
Yeah, that's a lot of value that we're seeing there. Now we've gotten a little bit of information from two separate survivors, been able to get multiple rounds of pressure. What's interesting is able to get back and double back, gets the down here on to the Fang. This is big. You're talking about looking at a second hook here already. I think predicting the D strike not going to be the case here. And also, as we looked around, we saw that the Corrupt was kind of split, which I think might end up having worked into our nurse's favor here, simply because it forces the survivors to have to be around the middle. They have to be a little bit more patient. They have to be a little bit more aware of the ability of the nurse to quickly be on their generator. So when you combine that with the Ruin, I feel like we might actually be waiting a little bit until we see our second gen pop.
Yeah, tough spot for the survivors having so much pressure so early. We've got a survivor on dead hook. If they're removed from that hook, that is, at potentially 4 to 3 gens, which really sets it up for Baki. You know, there's potential there for him to force death this early, but he would possibly be losing a bit of gen pressure. We do see a bit of a flashlight fail from Dixie, and we will start another chase over here, or we'll just do a little bit of confirming, I think, instead.
Yeah, I mean, right now you do have a survivor in the middle of, I mean, with the middle gen, you can call it a pretty solid 3 gen here. I think you've got a pretty, I mean, actually, even with the middle, we actually have a survivor moving in, not going to be able to move in before before the elimination, I should say, sorry, which is going to be Claudette taking the hit, not getting the save, now being back here on the backside of Shaq. We had just seen the basement here over in Shaq, which means this Claudette's going to want to be very careful.
Yeah, and that is Mathis on 300 ping as well, I think, coming live to us from Europe. So it will be very important for him to try his best. We have seen Mathis excel before against Nurse on this very map. So the fact that he's been able to lose Baki and potentially get away from the basement is a pretty good task.
Yeah, I mean, because we had taken the hit back here, and I thought Baki was looking at potentially having a basement. Oh, Mathis getting found in the basement in the correct locker. Up on the hook you go there, Maton. This is going to be big because you're continuing to keep the process of having hooked survivors in the side of the map that you really want to be playing right now. You're set up for late game with your 3 gen. We've got our Ruin on this half of the map as well. We've now got 2 injured survivors right now. This is, Baki is looking to end things here quickly, I think.
Yeah, a little bit cucked on the stairs there, but you know, over near that shack, we do see another gen pop while this chase is happening at main. You know, we've got our hello, beautiful blind there, mid blink, really causing Baki to get a little bit disorientated there. But we do manage to try and get that swing on Dixie. Unfortunately, we'll not be hitting that one today. We do not have the hits as Backy's net's a little bit too good. Big dead hard there, but Backy knows how to predict it, giving the Nopers just to assert dominance, and we will see Dixie head up on a hook as someone's hopefully heading in to get Mathis out of the basement. We do see him hitting second stage down there now. We do have an injured Nia Broken, who's really a lot riding on his shoulders right now.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the hard thing was while we were taking that chase, or at least starting that chase, we had seen the Gen popping over across the map. So what that meant was we knew that there's going to be a little bit of time. Oh my goodness gracious. We knew there's going to be a little bit of time before the survivor came back. So we had the time to take at least the survivor we had down. Normally we would have seen a slug, but because of map awareness, you knew you had just the right amount of time. And then we saw Backy doing, I mean, really what we probably should have expected. Again, this was Green's team's pick here with the nurse. And we had seen them not only get 4 stages out, but now it looks like we're looking at a 4K with only 3 gens complete. I mean, right now, this is starting off, you know, your first set for the match. You're taking set point number 1, and there's no better way to really set the pace than setting up 2 very impressive and dominant performances. Not going to be able to get away here is the Nia. So we are going to be able to confirm our slugs here. And just again, so much dominance being shown here by Green's team here early. And remember that, you know, Endless, you know, one thing we do have to keep in mind is Endless is no stranger to comebacks when it comes to winning 2 set points in a row. That's actually what they did to Owned in order to get here. So, you know, Endless is going to have to start the ball here in the Blight set after this. I mean, right now we're looking at a final score in set number 1 of 38-24. Again, honestly, just a very impressive performance here by Backy, and the pressure really going to be on Endless now coming out in the Blight set. And what's really kind of unique for Green's team is they're going to be able to start on the killer on the Endless's pick here on the Blight. So you can start by just going back-to-back really strong killer sets. Usually this is a situation where sometimes being in the back-to-back killer set can be very good for your momentum because the survivors are still trying to keep things together. So we're going to go ahead and be switching things over to the Blight set here. But of course, before we can do that, we do need to get that lobby set up for you. And we will be back on the Gas Heaven after a very quick break. All right, let's take another trip on back into the fog here. Going to be on the Gas Heaven. This time, going to be seeing our Blight, though, and we are going to be quickly working through our corrupt side of our map, trying to see if we can find ourselves a survivor relatively quickly here. We've got the corrupt. We've also got the ruin protecting those generators here early. So what our Blight would really like to do is find someone early, and really, if you can hook them in the middle of the map right now with this setup, you would be really sitting pretty heading into the mid portion of the trial, because you're probably going to be able to deplete some of the resources in the middle of the map, keep a couple of these middle generators up. And I feel like right now, the longer these mid-gens stay up with the setup that you have, the better. And honestly, really good job to deprive the collision.
Yeah, really nice, nicely done from Dixie there. I'm surprised he's not running main for the first chase. Usually see a lot of survivors head straight there because it is such a strong setup. Dixie is going to drop some pallets over here in the corner of the map, though. Oh, Green swings for that. We haven't seen Green on Blight for a while, so I'm excited to see what he brings. If we see some crimes by Talbot Grimes, I'm not quite sure, but hopefully we will be seeing some action, which we are now, with Dixie going on a hook at 5 gens, but that was enough time for our survivor team to get a gen done, so really nicely done from them.
Yeah, we are going to notice, though, that it is a one of our generators that is kind of back just a little bit. So these ones that are in the middle of the map are still available on the table here. We do also have our corrupt intervention gens here for about another additional 10 seconds or so. We see a really quick unhook here, just as Greens had made their way away from this hook here. And we do see Greens pretty well quickly making their way directly back, trying to see if they can find their injured survivor. Unfortunately, not able to find Collision here while working around the corner, which means less time able to kind of speed around on that portion of the map. And right now, I think while you still have your Ruin, would really like to take advantage of maybe even finding an additional survivor to chase Parrot with the Nanophobia to slow down these gens here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, usually you see the Blights running Thanata phobia going for a lot of tags and going to get that pressure and the slowdown from hitting everyone. So not really targeting any survivor, just trying to get tags and get the value from that perk.
Ooh, oh, wait, was they actually able to get the tag there? That's going to be big here because, of course, it's even a health state change. That's now an additional 5% added onto the Thanatophobia. Not able to make a connection here. Working through the 4 lane is the Nancy. We are pretty far away from the shack, though, so unless we're sitting on a dead hard, yeah, this is going to be a down in the shack. It looks like we've got basement over here as well. I think maybe just enough in the pallet space. No one around here though, so that's going to be a basement hook for hook number 2. This is another fresh hook here as well, so you do have some hang time if you're the survivors. Maybe you can spread up, pound out some generators. Yeah, there's going to be a couple of those things getting done there. The question though, I can't help or I should say one of those things getting done though, I can't help but wonder how quickly we'll be able to find this Ruin, because it is kind of away from like your traditional spawns, and it's not like right by your generator, so you like really have to kind of go digging for this thing.
Yeah, I think it's the one that's tucked into where the car pile, the edges and the cars kind of meet, which I know that from my experience as a competitive booner. But we're going to see Mathis once again in the basement. I think his next montage may be a basement montage by his his unfortunate circumstances today. It's nice actually seeing Green kind of pushing away from there, and of course cast his curse as soon as I say that. He heads straight on back, but wouldn't surprise me if we get second stage in the basement while we do see that gen pop. I think Green should really go back here and try and protect this hook, considering now we've got 2 gens left and we do have scratch marks heading on down. I'm not sure if someone else is down there, or if that was Fang's scratch marks. So we will just commit to. Oh, good hit! Good hit.
Take that with you, says Green, getting the nice reach through the window. I thought we had seen scratch marks actually going into the basement, and if that's yeah, I thought that's what we had seen. Which, if they're waiting this long, making sure the aggro is truly taken in the corner might be a really smart play, because I believe we had already seen the second stage forced anyways.
We're heading back there.
Wait, maybe they had another survivor rotate in, because it looked like that.
I think they were Fang scratch marks.
Yeah, I think they triggered what's kinship? Is it kinship? Yeah, kinship.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think his bar had moved much, so I think that was just Fang making sure to trigger that there.
Yeah, okay, that's a really good point. May have been able to get the unhook, but if not, the kinship there, of course, is just as valuable as the unhooks in some cases. Dixie choosing to take the down rather than the kill on Mathis here, but Green will be doing a small amount of hug teching and obviously exploiting of the map tiles in order to continue chase. But back we go to the shack, and continuing through, he's happy to leave Dixie down there to get this tunnel and to get this kill. Meanwhile, we've got Broken and Bulba are fully healed. Dixie is back up, but we do unfortunately say goodbye to Mathis, I think.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. This is an elimination, which is going to be good for Green Machine here. However, you had mentioned we haven't seen Bulba or Arnia here for a little while, which makes me think that they could potentially be paired up on a gen across the way. And we could be seeing generator number 5 getting complete relatively soon. I mean, we see that the survivors have done a pretty good job as far as gen spread. I can't tell. A decent amount of pressure on this gen, not too much. We do see though this is the Nia that we're going to be taking chase with back in this corner, not going to be able to find the reach. I'm not sure if Green Machine was trying to like throw their cane at that point to see if they can get a hit, but not going to have the range like that there. We do see though a pretty solid 3-gen kind of in line with Ruin, so Green's in pretty good control here.
Yeah, I think using 4 or 5 of his rushes, he's able to get from the furthest away gen back to the other. So a pretty nice setup for him. Of course, his Ruin is in there as well. The survivors have done a really good job of getting those 4 gens done with Ruin still up. So I think Green's in a really good place now. If he continues pushing them off the gens, bouncing in between them, getting that Ruin regression and getting the Thanata value, by pushing them off. I think he will be committing to the Nia now. Not too much here on the way to main, unfortunately, so they're forced to loop the Syndicate truck without a pallet here and will be going down. Green not happy with that hook just yet, wants to go back and check on the gens. We do see someone heading into Shack and someone else on the gen, so he does have all of the information as to where the survivors are. Green, absolutely filthy hits today. I'm not sure if he's kicked the router or what, but he certainly knows the hits, unlike Backy from that previous game.
That was that was really insane here. I'm not sure who Green Machine is paying over at Behavior for the amazing connection, but that was a hit. I'll tell you what. We do see though, unfortunately, catching Fang, I think out of position. I don't think the pallet's on this corner. I think it's on the other side, which should result in Fang going down. Oh, we actually already broke that pallet too. So this is gonna be Fang going over down over here, which just is going to allow the snowball to kind of continue. We had seen somebody have to go in for the save across the way. Now we're going to have a hook here. I wonder if maybe we saw a potential breakout Sabo play trying to be getting set up there. We've seen some teams kind of breaking that out here, but these hooks are pretty close together. Ruin getting popped across the way, but so is our gen is also getting popped, unfortunately, 25%.
Yeah, I think they may have wanted to keep the Ruin up now, being in this position now. We've got the killer with Pop 1 gen left and someone on a hook. Poor Bulba on his first hook there. Green lucky enough to secure another fresh hook. He will be bouncing back to this far gen to check the progress on there. If they got the Ruin, they're certainly working on this gen back here. Doesn't care too much and will be coming back in to see who's getting this unhook. We will be ignoring that. Nope.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to go for the Fang. She's got a lot of resources over here, though. So right now, Green Machine does have to be careful. I mean, we know that the 1 gen that we popped back over by Shack had a decent amount of progress. Oh, no. Ida outplay, nerd. That's going to cause our friend Fang to be able to get to safety. We see Green Machine opting to go ahead and break away from Chase, coming back, checking in on this generator over here. We do see the scratch marks moving into the Shack itself, trying to go for the hug tech. Nice reach through the window. His body's facing this way, and he's looking just like this, able to get the hit. Now we have 2 entered survivors over here. Those could be tough.
Oh no, that must have been a miscommunication. Dixie saying that he was at Shack, maybe Bulba thinking that the area was safe and running back in to work on that gen would have been the only way. Meanwhile, we do see the last gen pop. We've got Broken in that back corner completing that gen. Pretty good gates as well for Green, but it wouldn't surprise me if Broken's able to get that gate by the time he goes over there. Unsure if that Fang was picked up by Broken or through the Unbreakable perk. So we're going to have a look over at these gates, see what's happening. We do see some activity.
That had to have been unbreakable, right? Like with that much progress on that door, that had to have been unbreakable. Oh, they're out. That's a 2 out. No, that's a save across the way. Wait a minute. What are we going to have here? The question is, do we have someone maybe? I don't remember where we had our hatch at.
He wants the BT hit. He wants the BT hit. Oh, bounce.
So there's the B here. Oh, but this is our Dead Hard player. We have Dead Hard.
No, Fang. The Fang was the Dead Hard.
Oh, Fang hit was a Dead Hard. You are right. You are right. Oh, but the question is, yeah, is it? Please do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Oh, no D. No D slapping.
That's going to be a death hook here. And we do, that was, I mean, it is like what, risking 1 hook for 1 hook. And it's like, you'll take that risk every day.
Yeah, where is Bulba?
Hatchet main, maybe? Or is Hatchet Shack? Hatchet main.
At Maine, okay.
Or if he got the door, I
Well,
don't know. But they're able to get the 2 out here, which is going to be
yeah.
pretty big because Bulba was only hooked once, and Broken actually was fresh hooked. So that's some big escape points. So, I mean, honestly, Endless doing a really solid job on the Survivor side. This is their pick. And they're going to be able to come out in trial number 1 of set 2, and they even up the score 15-15. Really good Survivor performance,
Yeah,
honestly.
we do see the kinship on Mathis as well. So it was a kinship proc down there, but we also had the unbreakable on Bulba. So wake up on Broken as well. So that end
Jeez.
game, I mean, the guys used their perks perfectly, right? You had
Mm-hmm.
Bulba get downed, able to pick himself back up. Broken pop the last gen, use his wake up to open it, so that unhook could come in and they could all hopefully get to the door and get out. But we do see the two team escape. Really nice work from our survivors, and nice to see Green back on Blight. So we'll see what happens when we switch sides after this. We are back and we're coming in hot to Gas Heaven, where we're going to see Broken on the Blight. Talbot Grimes, we've got a bit of a different build here, but we do still have Ruin and our Corrupt. We are looking for a 8-stage 2K in order to head on into the Huntress round, tiebreaker next. So looking forward to see how our survivors go, as we saw in the nurse round. Really strong survivor team here. Going to be really cool to see their chases and how they perform against Broken's Blight, which I haven't seen yet, so I'm excited to see what he's been learning.
Yeah, and it's going to be rather important here for our survivors to try and play things patient in the early trial, especially make sure that you aren't giving away any free tags. We see moving into the shack. Oh, gets stunned, stupid. Plus 10 wood to the face here. We have already thrown though 2 pallets. 2 pallets have already been broken. We're already starting to, this is where we start creating those dead zones here. And this is why, at least if the first chase, you can prolong a little bit, make some moves. It does make it so towards the end game, you have more things when it's down to the 3v1. If you get down to that point, and another stun though with the pallet, able to create big distance. We also see a Jen popping off in the distance over across the way, a big swing and a miss here. A pallet getting dropped, which should allow for our survivor to make the long wall window if they want. Should also be able to make it back around to the pallet. Right now is a very good first chase.
Really nicely done. And it's Wrath from my understanding as well. Our little console Wrath here getting in hot. Really nice chase. We've already got 2 gens done. That's exactly what you want from a survivor team. You want a good first chase, a lot of gen pressure, and we will see Wrath unfortunately get hooked. Unfortunate for the survivor teams, pretty good for Broken. He's now got his choice of wherever he wants to go on the map, looking around for scratch marks, protecting the gens. Let's see where he goes and who he finds.
Yeah, one thing that is worth noting as we kind of look around on our generators, 2 of them were done. It kind of basically makes it so our killer won't have to go to this side of that wall of cars there, because we took care of the far corner, and then of course that gen that we were just at. Also saw a very quick unhook, which is rather interesting here. It does make the decision to quickly go back and try and continue the tunnel out process here, as we had not found another survivor across the map. Relatively easy, and the tough part is we're going to be doubling back our chase through the area that we've already kind of created a dead zone with because of the pallets that we threw in chase number 1. Now going to be seeing, instead of going straight for the pickup, trying to see if we can get a tag onto another survivor here in the 4 lane. Not going to be the case. Going to go for the pickup now. They were just up on the shoulder. No decisive strike to be had though. So this is going to be hook state number 2. I got someone walking around, which always makes me wonder about the potential breakout plays, as we've seen that be a play here recently start becoming, something we see a little bit more often in comp DBD, but we haven't seen any more gens, which makes you think we'll see 3 and 4 pop relatively close together maybe.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I know that the Nia was floating around, so she's definitely accounted for, but we haven't really seen Bam all game as well as Green. So I'm sure that they're pushing out the generators. Our survivors are smart. They know about the win condition. They know what they need to do. I'm unsure if they want to go to the Huntress round, or I'm unsure what their plan is. But Green's certainly going to be taking the chase now. But Broken's not going to be having it. You never chase Green, as we always learn in our games here. We'll be heading back to the hook to try and force death on our poor boy Raph. Will be interesting to see if he gets the death here as another gen pops, or if someone comes in, maybe trades for him.
Yeah, I mean, we are kind of in an interesting situation because you don't really want to send a single player in for the save, right? Things get a little tricky, but right now we've got the Ruin up as well. So if you bring two people in, that's more gens that are more than likely going to be regressing. And right now you just really need to be pushing out the objective work here. I feel like if you prioritize gens over friends, if you can get one more gen, even if you play into a 3-gen, you're at least feeling a little bit better about things. And there it is, generator number 4 and generator number 5.
There it is! Yeah, and Wrath, we did see that he didn't have DS, so if he was going to get tunneled off that hook, it would have been a really difficult spot for our Survivor team. We do have a haste status effect, though. Blight is fast. We do know that if he rushes after this, the down will not work. So the survivors are more than likely gonna know he's got no ed as he swings for the window and misses. Definite sign there that he has no ed. Unsure if that was the ruin or the no ed. But Green pulling off a great chase against the very fast Talbot Grimes here at this TL. Wouldn't surprise me if the team just take the 2 and just let him have his fun down here in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, especially because that door's across the way. You have 2 survivors. Even with the sacrifice, that is only going to be 6 stages, which is 1 stage shy of what Green's team was able to get in trial number 1 of set 2 here. And if that is the case, that means we're going to be looking, which is the case. I shouldn't say if that's the case, as if it's the end of the game, and I don't know. I'm sorry. We're going to be looking at a score here, though, of 31-27 in favor of Green's team, which means that's going to be set number 2 for Green's team, which means that is them wrapping things up without even having to go into Huntress set.